Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The silence in the house was a new, living thing. It wasn't the empty silence of an abandoned place, but a resonant one, filled with the ghost of slamming doors, bubbling laughter, and the perpetual thrum of a bass line from a bedroom stereo. John stood in the hallway, a single, forgotten hair tie looped around his finger like a tiny rubber band promise. He remembered the chaos, the whirlwind of two identical forces of nature, a matching set of pigtails and scraped knees, of whispered secrets and fierce, loyal arguments. He remembered this very hallway as a runway for fashion shows featuring tutus and rain boots, as a racetrack for tricycles, as a stage for impromptu puppet shows. Now, it was just a hallway, clean and quiet, leading to two bedrooms, whose doors were left ajar, revealing neatly made beds and spaces that already felt like museums. His wife, Sarah, came to stand beside him, her shoulder brushing his. She didn't speak. She simply slipped her hand into his, her own silence holding a universe of shared memory. They had spent 18 years in the glorious, exhausting trenches of twinhood, and now they were veterans of a war that ended not with a bang, but with the quiet click of a car door and the fading taillights of a loaded-down sedan. He wandered into one of the rooms. The posters were gone from the walls, rolled up and taken to a new dorm room hundreds of miles away. All that remained was a faint, rectangular ghost of tape on the paint and a single dusty glow-in-the-dark star clinging to the ceiling. On the desk, a small framed photograph sat askew. It was a picture of the four of them, taken on a beach vacation years ago. The girls' all gap-toothed grins and sun-bleached hair were squashed between their parents, their small bodies vibrating with the joy of a day spent in the sun and salt water. John picked up the frame, his thumb tracing the glass over his daughter's laughing face. The memory was so vivid, he could almost feel the grit of the sand and hear the shriek of the gulls. It felt like last week. It felt like a lifetime ago. A new chapter. That's what everyone called it. A fresh start, an empty nest, a time to rediscover themselves as a couple. The words were well-intentioned, but they felt hollow in the face of this profound quiet. This wasn't a chapter in a book. It was the start of a whole new volume, and he wasn't sure he liked the opening pages. Later, they sat on the back porch, the space where so many summer evenings had been spent watching soccer practice, grilling burgers, and helping with science projects that involved too much vinegar and baking soda. The swing, built for four, now felt cavernous for two. I found a single sparkly sneaker in the back of the laundry room, size 6, from when they were 12. John let out breath that was half laugh, half sigh. Where has all that gone, Sal? She leaned her head on his shoulder. Into them, she whispered. It's all in them now. And he knew she was right. The time hadn't vanished. It had been metabolized. It was in the strong, confident young women who had just yesterday, it seemed, been learning to ride bikes in this very driveway. Their energy, their spirit, their very essence hadn't disappeared from the world. It had just moved to a new zip code. The sun dipped below the fence, painting the sky in streaks of orange and purple. The silence was still there, but it was changing. It was no longer an absence, but a space. A space for a different kind of noise. The quiet hum of the refrigerator, the distant bark of a dog, the comfortable rustle of Sarah turning a page in her book. He reached for her hand again. The adventure wasn't over. It was just different. The nest was empty, but the sky was full of their fledglings, flying on strong, new wings. And for the first time all day, the quiet didn't feel like a loss, but like a deep, earned breath.